I first of all want to thank Foreign Minister Cohen for inviting me to this place, a place that can only be defined as hell on earth. You cannot walk through this once peaceful place that up until the morning of October 7th was a gathering place for people who wanted to find a life together, a life of kinship, a life of family and friends, literally 1 mile from Gaza. And they established relationships with the people of Gaza in a peaceful way. And for them to have to endure the horrors of what this terrorist group has wrought upon these innocent people is something that we must never forget. We speak about the Holocaust in terms of we must never forget. That is taught in the schools in the state of New York, so we never forget. But this day can never be forgotten, because this will go down in history as a slaughter of innocents, not during armed conflict, not military and civilian collateral damage. This was an intentional attack on the most innocent, the most frail, the most wonderful people in this very place. I will live the rest of my life seared with the knowledge of what happened in this place. But shame on all of us as the civilized world versus the uncivilized world if we ever forget this either. We must make sure that in today that we stand strong with Israel to fight back this specter of evil, lest it feels emboldened to attack other cities. It must be contained here, it must be contained now. And yes, we are a good people. We must get humanitarian aid across that border to the innocent people, but not in a way that can support the leadership of Hamas that must be decapitated is the only word I will say, because they must be eradicated. Because people of Israel, people of the world deserve to live in peace. And there is no peace in this place. This is a place of hell right now. And that is something that I'm glad I came here, because I want the rest of the world that this is not a story of only 10 days ago. This story must continue until Hamas is no longer a threat. That is the commitment of President Biden, and that is the commitment of me as the governor of the state of New York, proudly the home of the largest Jewish population outside of Israel.
Governor Hochul, you have also American citizens that hostage now.
I met the families of the hostage victims from the United States. Some of them were their sons, American citizens who felt the need to be here. They have served this country proudly. Others are just innocent, a 64-year-old man and his wife from a place called Rochester, not far from my hometown in New York. And they were peaceful people. They came here and tried to establish peaceful relations. And in fact, some of them would actually take up collections every week for the children of Gaza from here and places like this to show solidarity and love across the border. They are right now held captive. We don't know their whereabouts, but their family is in trauma. I tried to comfort them, but there is no comfort for a family who does not know the fate of their child or their brother or their sister. So I raised this with the leadership here, raised it with Prime Minister Netanyahu, raised it with President Herzog, raised it with our own government. The hostages, all the hostages must be freed. That is not an option. They must be able to come home safely. And that is another one of the highest priorities of the United States government.